It is noon. The sun is directly overhead. You are standing on dry grass that stretches to the horizon, and somewhere ahead of you, an animal is running for its life. You are not holding a rifle. You are not sitting in a truck. You have a wooden spear, a pair of legs, and a body soaked in sweat. And you are about to chase that animal until one of you collapses. This is a normal day at the office for a Stone Age hunter. And here's the uncomfortable truth. If you were dropped into that body, into that day, you would almost certainly fail. You would be too weak, too slow, too soft. But there is one thing the human body can do that almost no other animal on Earth can match. One strange hidden weapon that makes this whole impossible chase possible. We will get to it, because it is the reason you exist at all. First, let's understand exactly what you would be up against. You probably think of early humans as primitive, grunting cavemen, barely scraping by. But the hunter-gatherers who walked this planet were not weaker versions of you. In almost every physical way, they were superior. Consider their bones. When scientists examine the skeletons of ancient foragers, they find something striking. The inside of their leg bones, the spongy, honeycomb-like structure called trabecular bone, was dramatically denser than yours. An anthropologist named Habiba Churcher, working with colleagues, compared the bones of early humans to those of modern people. The difference was enormous. Your bones, by comparison, are light and fragile. Why? Because density is built by a lifetime of hard movement, of walking many miles a day, of climbing and carrying and running. You sit. They moved, constantly. So picture your real competition. A Stone Age hunter has the bone density of a wild animal, the calloused hands of someone who has never known a soft chair, and a level of all-day endurance that would humble a modern athlete. How do we know how much they moved? Because we can still watch people who live this way. There is a group in Tanzania called the Hadza, one of the last true hunter-gatherer societies on Earth. An anthropologist named Herman Ponzer has spent years studying their bodies and their energy. What he found is that the Hadza are physically active at a level most of us cannot imagine. The men walk and run many miles every single day, tracking, digging, climbing trees for honey. Their hearts and muscles are conditioned by a lifetime of motion. They show almost none of the heart disease that is so common in the modern world. Now compare that to your day. You wake up, you sit to eat, you sit to travel, you sit to work, you sit to relax. Your body, brilliant and adaptable, has quietly molded itself to a life of stillness. Drop that body onto the savannah, and the trouble begins almost immediately. So let's reconstruct your first morning as a Stone Age hunter. You wake before dawn, because the cool hours are the best for moving. There is no breakfast waiting. If you want to eat today, you have to go and find it or kill it. You pick up your spear, and here is your first shock. That spear is not a crude stick. In a coal mine in Schöningen, Germany, archaeologists led by Hartmut Dime uncovered a set of wooden throwing spears. They are around 300,000 years old, and they are not clumsy. They are beautifully engineered, carved from spruce, weighted at the front like a modern javelin, balanced for flight. The humans who made these understood aerodynamics long before anyone had a word for it. This was advanced technology made by hands and minds far sharper than we give them credit for. Could you even throw it properly? Almost certainly not. And throwing, it turns out, is its own kind of superpower. A scientist named Neil Roach studied how the human body throws. He found that our shoulders work like a slingshot, storing and releasing elastic energy in a way no other animal can. This is why a human can hurl a spear or a rock with terrifying speed and accuracy, while even a chimpanzee, far stronger than you, throws like a toddler. But this ability takes years of practice to master. A Stone Age child trained for it from the moment they could walk. You did not. Your first throw would wobble and fall short, and your prey would simply trot away. So now you are hungry. Your spear has failed, and the sun is climbing. This is where the day becomes truly brutal. You set off after a herd of antelope, and immediately, the obvious problem hits you. They are faster than you, much faster. In a flat-out sprint, almost any prey animal will leave a human far behind. So how on earth did your ancestors ever catch anything? This is where that hidden weapon finally comes into play. The one I promised you at the start. You sweat. It sounds almost insulting. Sweat? That is the secret. But stay with this, because it is one of the most remarkable facts about your own body. Most large animals cool themselves by panting, and an animal cannot pant and gallop at full speed at the same time, not for long. When they run hard, their body temperature climbs and climbs, until they are forced to stop and cool down in the shade. They overheat. You do not. Humans are covered in millions of sweat glands, and we have very little fur. This means that while you run, Your skin becomes a cooling system, releasing heat through evaporation across your entire body. You can keep moving in the blazing midday heat, the exact time of day when most animals are forced to rest. Two scientists, Bramble and Daniel Lieberman, laid this out in a famous study. They argue that the human body is built from head to toe for one specific thing: endurance running. Long, steady, relentless distance. Your springy Achilles tendons store and return energy with every stride. Your large buttock muscles stabilize you as you run, but are barely used when you walk. A clue that they evolved for running. Even the tiny ligament at the back of your skull exists to keep your head steady while you pound across the ground. You are, quite literally, a running machine. The best long-distance running animal on the planet, and this unlocks a hunting method that sounds almost unbelievable. It is called persistence hunting. An anthropologist named Louis Liebenberg went into the Kalahari Desert and ran alongside sand hunters who still practiced it. Here is how it works. You do not outrun the animal. You outlast it. You pick your target, and you simply keep it moving. Every time it stops to cool down, you appear again and force it to run. Again and again, hour after hour, in the punishing heat. The animal cannot sweat enough to cope. Slowly, its body overheats, until finally it collapses, unable to take another step, and you walk up to it, barely able to lift your arms and finish the hunt. This can take hours. It can cover dozens of miles. It demands a tracker's mind to read every hoofprint and bent blade of grass, and a marathon runner's body to outlast a creature built for speed. Now ask yourself, honestly, could you run for 4 hours through desert heat, weeding faint tracks the whole way and still have the strength to make the kill at the end? This is why you would not last a day. Not because you are not human, but because your human body has never been asked to become what it truly is. And here is the twist that should stop you cold. You are not missing some special gene that the Stone Age hunter had. You have the exact same body. The same sweat glands. The same springy tendons. The same slingshot shoulders. The same astonishing capacity for endurance that let your ancestors run animals to death under the noonday sun. The only difference is that you never switched it on. That hunter was not a different species. That hunter was you, with the settings turned all the way up. Every adaptation that made the chase possible is still sitting inside you right now, waiting, mostly unused, beneath a life of chairs and screens and effortless food. So think back to that animal running across the dry grass, with the sun directly overhead. You imagined yourself failing. Too weak, too slow, too soft. And for the life you have lived, that is true. But the machine is still in there. The same body that once chased antelope to exhaustion across the open plains is the one reading these words. It was never broken. It was only ever resting. It is noon. The sun is directly overhead, and the oldest, strangest weapon in the animal kingdom is still beating quietly inside your chest.